happening here? This is
we
crazy.
Skyrat for sure.
We Skyrat.
Man, I can't believe what we're seeing here in the first game, Wings versus DC. We have a call Skyrat, we have Pudge.
I can't believe it, but I can also believe it at the same time, gentlemen. This is going to be a hype grand final, I can already tell. It's game number 1. Let's throw it over. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your grand final casters. It's Toby 1 and Merlini.
Greetings, everybody. This is the greatest game in the Dota2 year, the International Grand Final. I'm Toby 1 here with Merlini. Not only have we got 2 amazing teams, we've also got one kick-ass draft to kick us off.
Yeah, they're not afraid to go outside the box. Pudge, core Skyrats, we haven't seen any of this on the main stage.
All of them got thrown to the wayside, but we're expecting random. Like everyone's been describing Wings as this all-random team. You never know how to play against them because you never know what they're going to pick. But Digital Chaos, also one of these teams heavily respected for their drafting throughout the tournament.
Let's hop in the game, see what's going on there.
That's right, this is the place where we ask the questions. How does it all unfold? The Weeha on the Skyrat, the Moo moving to the Timbersaw. It is going to be classics in some ways, but also the curveballs in the other. You saw that grin on Misery. He seems to be very, very confident coming into this tournament.
I know they have to be riding that high after taking down EG, and I haven't seen a core Sky in ages. I've seen him play it on stream a couple times though. He really liked that hero. I think it's one of his favorite heroes.
Is this when you actually go to what something like EG, like PPD said about the old TI5 final? You pick up heroes which are just the comfort zones, where you know you can have a really good game because it's just your style of hero. I guess we believes this is it. He had other options. He had a lot of options.
I also think you need to take Wings out of their comfort zone. They always seem to be able to know exactly what you're going to do, what lanes you're going to throw at them. And
Weeha won't stop it. He is clucking like a hen at the moment as that Skyrat mage. The battle will begin in 15 seconds when the runes will spawn. Digital Chaos, they're grouping up heavily to contest this top rune, but so are Wings.
it looks like they're actually going to try and aggro over here.
Wait for it, here they come. They're coming down into the river. Who's going to get that first rune? It doesn't go most of the way of Wings. Weeha taking a lot of damage early on, but the Illuminate, it hits on 4. Blink is so low. DC's almost got first blood. Resolution, time looking into the first blood, but it's Weeha on the Skyrat throwing the ultra range. That will bring down Blink.
And this early observer ward set up by DC2. They had vision of all those heroes, and Wings, they did not see that Illuminate coming. The Wisp came in, got chucked by that Illuminate. Early first blood goes the way of Weak.
And again we see DC turn to this Misery Ogre mid lane zoner, trying to keep the Storm Spirit out, while Weeha taunts the Storm Spirit back to his tier 1 tower. But the top lane's going to be a bit of a rock run here for Resolution, as Ice, he has leveled up Rot level 1, he'll have Innocence to back him up, but they're trying to create a little bit of space here for Shadow. Resolution is not alone. Tuxa is up here to help him as that Keeper of the Light.
Early salve already coming out on the Skyrat Mage, but he's doing very well in terms of CS, limiting the Storm to 0-0 with the aid of Misery.
And Misery is just making life an absolute living hell. A Storm Spirit with no progression. That's got to be a dangerous thing. How can Wings change this up? How do you change the balance of these lanes? You do have one of the best rotating surprises of the game, and that's in the Pudge of Wings. But you can't even level 2 on him until he's got a hook.
It's also the Wisp. The Wisp comes in when you overcommit to a lane. But they have really good vision inside.
Well, now that Io's arrived in mid, Misery has rotated to the top lane. Ice is still not level 2 yet, but okay, with the Observer Ward behind the tower from Tuxa, he's able to see Ice moving around. Now the Pudge rotations, the second he leaves that top lane, DC is going to know about it.
And that Sentry Ward is a little bit out of range. Wings have a lot of trouble in this early game. They want to get stacks up with a Wisp, especially when you have a Storm Spirit. They need some levels on the Pudge so he can actually hook this Keeper of the Light.
Well, that's why Misery's moved over. Shadow going to cut through the tree line. Ice needs to get in range to make that Rot work, but that's also an Ogre, an insanely tanky style hero. Not even the core is able to zone this out in this one position. Silencer not really having any love, even with that pull. Same time, DC do the same and keep the equilibrium their way.
Even if the early game's going poorly for Wings, they can still make it up in the team fight. It's going to be a long time until they can build Greaves, Lotuses, BKBs, the counters to Global Silence. So, come 15-20 minutes, if Wings can start flexing their lineup.
Bottom lane Faith dropping very, very low. We haven't even really had a close talk about this bottom lane, the Slaughter versus the Timber. Right now, things seem to be pretty even on the CS board, but how is this lane meant to progress?
We actually see Timbersaw not going for a Quelling Blade here. This is why Slardar is able to actually overcome him in CS. It's very low on regen on the Slardar, but you expect it to go slightly Timbersaw favored.
Well, if Moo can have that, he's going to have a really great transition into that mid game. Maybe be online by the time Wings are ready to fight.
One of the best runes for a Skywrath mage, regeneration. That's definitely gonna win the lane for him.
Yeah, that's just gonna spam out the Storm Spirit, and he needs a second option. At least Storm, I don't know if he really wants to start farming up inside of his own jungle. There's actually a couple of stacks prepared, so maybe that's his catch-up, use the remnants.
Yeah, they also need to get levels on the Wisp. Wisp might need to help him out with like a bottle refill to deal with this constant spam from Skywrath Mage.
Well, the lanes are settled down after that first flood in the river. We've had 3.5 minutes of peace. But on bottom lane, the first big rotation is actually going to be Lotte Big as Innocent's coming down to help. To gank up Move, he's got 1 point up into the danger. He's got a way to get away from this, but then the movement speed. Crush off cooldown in 2 seconds time. Low support coming in from DC. The Crush will connect with Move. 10 reactive armor charges. He's so tanky, the body block has got enough rotation back there. Almost! The chain away! They're under the tower! There's no matter on Move, but Faith, he might be in a little bit too deep here. He needs a way out. Crush is available. Where's that tether? It's off cooldown, but the Crush is going to miss. Here comes the tether. Move's looking for an opening. Remember, he's got no mana, no mango. And that means he can't find the kill. Faith dives deep, but does not kill the Move.
I really like how Move baited out that Crush there, just ran right outside the range. The Wings trying to make something happen in the other lane, and no TPs even from the supports, so they're comfortable in Move being sacrificed out there.
I'm wondering if he asked for anything, and DC is like, I'm sorry, man. We gotta hold this top tower. You survived that gank, and DC gets so much more. The top 3 CSs on the board. The lanes are looking fantastic for DC to start with. They have a small advantage, and now they might find a bigger one. Ice caught out. Rock denial, not possible. Misery gets the last club, and
One bright side for Wings there is that they did drop 2 sentry wards on the top lane at the same time. A little bit of miscommunication from them, and they won't be able to get the ward on that ops.
So Wings, is this repair zone now for them, or are they still comfortable with progression in the first 5 minutes?
You don't want to lose the lanes this badly. Look at Sky CS compared to the Storms. 29 versus 11. They were neck and neck at 1 point.
This looks to be the reason why they're rotating up, so Faithian as well as Innocence. Looking towards Weeha. Weeha has been very cocky in this mid lane, going over the river, and this is that kind of moment they were waiting for. Faith runs in, they'll get an easy crush, Innocence to help out with the Wisp Spirit, playing the sword.
I saw it so.
He burned the Redder out of Blink! And now the 1-1 trade-off, but that was a heavy rotation for Wings, the time committed for that. And it's still a 1-1, the mid for mid.
And the Ogre staying there in the mid lane, really taking its toll on the Storm Spirit. He's not even close to level 6 at this point. Would really like that before they make that rotation. At least they finally get a kill.
Innocence is back on the stacks. And you're already seeing the TP coming over, and Blink, yeah, he doesn't want to go anywhere near that mid lane for now. They have to clean up these stacks inside the Dire jungle in a bit.
But as we say that, DC is already moving into that area. They'll all be under the eyes of the observer.
Ice is pinging out. He feels like he's got an opening here. While Resolution was farming the camp, the Dire Observer still sees quite nicely. The rating of and Sentry is too far away. Now Ice moves over, lost the hook. As he threads the DC needle, and they have to turn with a rod. Ice starts up, he'll deny himself with a rod. Starts up, he's away. Back behind the T1 tower. Got a couple of stick charges up his sleeve. Resolution also with Time Warp and stick charges up. Back up as far as they can. With Resolution, the ball flaps into the tree line. And the glaive is not enough damage. But it is!
The darkness.
The last word was had by Wings. Misery's coming up for some deep revenge. He needs to find him in the tree line. Shadow starts his TP out. Innocence not have the man to do so. Misery gonna loop around the tree line, try and lock him in, but then to tether away the green wave, avoiding the Luminate as well. He gets out at the same time. Weeha went for a crazy dive behind the tier 1 tower and lost his life.
Wow, that outplay the Wisps too. They're having a lot of trouble keeping track of him. He doesn't even have boots at the moment, opting for the raindrops instead. Might have even lived from that short charge Illuminate. And now TP on the top, auto refill on IO. They're doing well in this early game now. Yeah. Off the back of the rotation of the Wisp, they really need some more pokes from Ice.
You know, it's that same thing we saw from the Wings punches previously. Never really felt his big influence inside the game. He normally was just that fear which allowed his other supports to have space, but this silencer, he can't really make the most out of that.
Yeah, DC have to make sure not to overstay the walk of the safe lane, in Wings' safe lane, that is. A lot of times the 3 heroes just stay there way too long. They cleans up like heavy rotation from the mid laner. But Storm, not having a good time. He's also not gotten his kill runes. Plus 2 runes, 8 double damage going to the way of the Skywrath Mage. 8-minute rune will be a bounty for Storm.
So again, no joy on the rune. There is a lot of joy to be had in that bottom lane. DC, Moo is just having a great time as he comes in close over on the slider. 2 points up in Timber is available, but he's not going to play that game as on top lane. Oh, Keeper of the Light gets caught out. Finally one of those hooks.
Yeah, it's about to be that time where they need to maybe ditch this or reinforce it with the help of the Moo Timber or force to help out the other lanes, and that's why you see the Timber out of control on CS.
I have to find a way to completely shut him down at some point, or else Moo's going to do what Moo's done before. Huge win rate on that Timbersaw.
Man, the 8-minute rune was there for quite a long time. Haste for Sky.
Nice thing for Weehaw, he wants to get aggressive. Also, nice way to chase the Storm Spirit, who's only got maybe 1/4 of his mana to heal. Weehaw gonna miss the Mystic Flare. So some decent damage to the Storm Spirit. Wow, okay, doing more than decent. It was amplified by the steal to start with.
Is under attack.
But Blink, this is just not his game.
Yeah, they got rid of a lot of the raindrop charges. Moo going in deep on bottom.
Yeah, face so low, but confident enough to stand next to his own tier 2 tower. Doesn't want to back up completely. Wants to make Moo a little bit more fearful of being between the tier 1 and tier 2 tower before even the 10-minute mark. And because he's doing this with a creep skip, it guarantees the early tier 1. And the health comes in on toggle.
Dire's bottom tower is under
As we say that, Blink and Io.
Can they jump this? Moo still the application. Still the message. Then confirms Skywrath to start with. No warning. The damage is good. And maybe that was the best, but then the typical chains up the Dark of Kevin. It's on the mutual lizard. Be careful. But they find the kill before he pulls it in.
Chocolate just ditched him right there. I think with an Illuminate, he would have been able to get a triple kill right there.
Dire's top tower
But
is under attack.
Moo, that's a right. Try to do what he could.
He almost made himself instead a triple kill. He just needed more time. But it wasn't available. Resolution. Walking right next to Shadow in the tree lines. He doesn't know. He came so close you could probably smell him. Unless he goes around the corner of that tree, he still doesn't know. Shadow. Cloak and dagger stuff. But he'll need help if they want to defend this. Innocent still doesn't have level 6. So there's no help coming there, and there it is. They just back out. Get TP of the Shadow back to base.
All that time wasted actually could have been done to the damage done to the tower. That's 300 HP and need a little bit of help from Faceless Void. Also Shadow going for a little bit of a different build. Arcane Curse would have been potentially pretty good versus spammy heroes like the Faceless Void, the Sky, and Timber, but opting to prioritize the last word so that Timber can't run away, Faceless Void can't cast Chrono, and just overall a little bit better synergy for their team fight.
Little extra control also arriving for Wings as Dismember arrives, the first time being used on the punch. Really trying to make up for those levels he couldn't achieve on the top because he just had to hug the Zap so close.
But DC had so much control over Wings' jungle with another deep Observer Ward as they finish the T1 on top. With just closing in on level 6, should get it after this camp. And starting to eye where those relocate ganks will happen as Ice Eyes perches in the bottom lane.
Yeah, he's wanting to prepare on move. With the implication he knows he's going to get the hit, the chain up. Ice Eyes still waits his time out. Oh no.
And not enough mana for a hook Dismember, especially with the level 3 chain on the Timbersaw.
Dire's middle tower is
But
under attack.
Y and Blink are ready, waiting for the opportunity. It could be on top if he uses a defensive Global Silence.
That's where DC is headed at the moment with a 3-man smoke maneuver. As we'll have ourselves, just a quick pause. Nice start as far as DC feel like it was a good start for them. Overall, it's been moving between 1,500 net worth going the way of DC. But Wings, they've repaired a 2k deficit in experience, dragging it back their way after what was a bit of a harsh start in the first part of the laning. Can't believe that guy got into
Who'd you vote for, Toby?
Fire! Who else? He's the man. But we can go again. The pause is over. And Shadow has to be prepared for this. The Chrono is being out with a Mystic Flare. It's the old school combo and the Illuminate! The damage! It's not enough for the more charges. He will still die. Rehire an extra arcade orb up his sleeve.
Skyrat's actually so fast. He's moving at 412 speed. Flawless just ran off him, but he's very far close again on the Atos, and one of your main concerns about running at Core Sky is that he's going to fall off similar to perhaps the Scorpion Fury that they ran earlier, but when he's this far ahead of the Storm Spirit, looks to be a pretty good game for him, but it's a slippery slope.
It is, but Wings still finding space while that gank was going on, so Silence is not the happiest time of all. Still gonna be happy at his first death in 12.5 minutes.
Do you believe in the taunt curse, Toby?
I believe in the cockiness curse, yeah. Don't go too deep. I think Weehar already got that a little bit when he died behind the tier 1 tower.
Needs to do the 30 bird a few more times.
Top lane, Moo's gonna come over, Resolution waiting in the trees, no closure available for DC.
They're just saving it out at the moment, just waiting.
I'm surprised Fade comes in. Okay, that's the reason, yeah. He's already got that early Blink Dagger. With Tranquils, it's a little bit more. No early stat items over on Fade Beyond.
And that Observer Ward will not catch wind of the Slardar nor the IO, so they are still blind. Although, you know, Silencer farming out alone with trying to relocate.
The team actually came out. They think there's something going on here. DC's rotating support, but it might be too late. Misery taking heavy damage. Multicast not enough to save his life. And now Resolution is to time walk back to the tier 1 tower.
Wings did such a good job of evading vision of that Observer Ward, but without Chronosphere up, not sure if DC can fight here.
Time dilation, Global Silence comes out from Shadow, making this very difficult. Face Beyond, blink forward, Sun's over on Resolution, with the Timber Chain over, they need more damage, Resolution's gonna go down, the Illuminous, takes the back of Face with the Timber Chain forward, Moon's bringing the damage, but it's still not enough. Face Beyond into the tree line, blink, he's got it, he's into the tree, Shadow can TP, the Hawk away, keeping it going, all the way home, it's found Hawking T8, 6 style. You still got back with the relocation. Innocent will have to give up his life here.
He lost a whopping 4 gold from that, already purchased his earn right before, and I don't know how Wings managed to make it out of that one, but that was a very fast Global Silence from Shadow, right as Moo went in. As we can see, like, he can't do anything during the Global Silence, not as of yet. Faces Void going for an early Blaz, it seems. Diffusal Blade is normally the build, maybe a little bit later on for the Faces Void if you want to counter the Global Silence. Timbersaw still has a long way to go until his Bloodstone, then maybe a Yules or a Lotus to deal with it.
So we see now how DC love to push. Second Global Silence goes down, they know they've got the advantage. They've got Chronosphere up as well, so they attack into the tier 1 tower. They can keep going unless Wings want to try and fight them. Cut there. Maybe in the tier 2. DC, they're going to keep going.
They need to take it easy during the Chronosphere, and Punch has to be really quick with this hook during the Chronosphere because the Skyrat does insane amount of damage, especially with how high level Wii is. He doesn't have level 2 ulti quite yet, but the response time has to come within half a second.
Nice deep ward down by Zuxa. Looking deeper in, Shadow. Well, easy to keep it out of the top lane too. Moo can't cancel that, no stuns. So Yule Scepters for this Timbersaw.
They use a dire scan near the top room, so they might die down here.
Well, that's one way to... Oh, he missed it now. It's one way to deny a catapult.
But look at where they're setting up. Global Silence coming off cooldown in just 10 seconds time. We in very deep.
Fate doesn't have vision of him now. Cross, monster, jump forward. Skyrat's made. No real defense ability. Resolution. He time walked in like he was about to go for the Chronosphere and then pulled out.
Have to want rooms again for taking all these fights outside of DC's vision. They do have a ward in this hall.
They're coming over. That Observer was D's face. High side still on the back line. He's that saving grace. Blink and rush. Misery now hooked down. Sending it some damage. Resolution. No mana for a Chrono. And the Global Silence. They can't respond now, DC. They literally mute buttons being pressed. Wings, they will be forced out. As moves on the front lines, they go back up to the hillside of the Radiant jungle. But they're still surrounding that mid-tier 1 town, but not for long.
Such a tricky place for DC. They want to fight because they're right outside their T1 and they have vision, but the Skyrat has been down, and as soon as we respawn, Wings are out of there.
Notice too where Wee's TPing, he goes straight down to bot lane. He'll walk up and find the Stormtrooper, but that Rod of Atos, the hook out again. The Rod of Atos slow. It cannot hold people inside that Mystic Flare, and it's still a level 1. It wasn't enough damage to get through Blink anyway.
They really want to take a fight with the Chronosphere up here. No global silence on Wings, and they know they have to get out of here right now.
And no global, no relocate, so you don't even have that saving grace when one of your cores gets caught in the Chrono.
But the battle of the cooldown and the ultimates are going to Wings at the moment. Global silence, 130 seconds. Chronosphere, same, 130, but they haven't been able to use it. And if this keeps going like this, Wings are just going to continue to get a lot of far with the Stormspear, who had a terrible early game. He was maybe 1,500 below the Skywrath, but now they're caught up DC with an aggressive maneuver, smoking down near Roche.
You wonder if it's one of those lanes again. Like, Jupira's really great up against Medusa, but what happens after you hit the 15-minute mark? Like, how is this Skywrath mage keep doing work?
Okay, what kills? Like, ideally, it's just with the Ogre, so you don't have to blow the Chronosphere, but Shadow, he, I believe, was scouted out as he headed into there, but if the smoke pops, they're going to think it's because of the tower, so they can't head over there. Radiant has used Scan, thinking that Shadow's in the trees, will light up green, and we will have to find another person to kill.
Now, they missed their target. They can go down a bottom lane, but there's 3 Dire Observer Wards all through the Radiant jungle, so vision superiority, at least in the jungle itself, will go to Wings, but around the tower fight, it will be the favor of DC.
DC have also missed their V wards on the bottom lane, and Wings still have 3 up there. Smoke again, right as Global Silence is about to come off cooldown.
They want to defend bottom. The recall already came in. We have it brought in. Blink in the neighborhood. Down over here. Did that help with the blast right? Yeah, there's double TPs, but Global Silence again causing problems. Misery will arrive at Faith. He's in way too deep. Another drop, but Seal Mystic Flare will find the kill. Isaac, he's trapped. The Creeper doesn't mean the tree line. He can't escape. The Illuminate will help get the kill. But it goes to Weeha. Take that. Wing forced the issue a little too hard under the tier 1.
They expected a relocate coming right there. Faith went in. You got a very important hero on Skywrath main, but Storm seemed a little bit too far behind, even with level 2 Electric Vortex. It would have been a kill, and don't know where the Wisp and his partner was, but they don't even have to blow Chronosphere for that. Early Bloods, they can threaten Rogue, but they don't really have good heroes to take it out. That's a very overwhelming concern for DC.
It's when that Diffuser Blade is up, I mean, less concerns for DC. But for now, Wings, Bloodstones are up for both sides. Blink gets his fresh one, now with 12 Bloodstone charges, and the same for Move. So these guys are very happy with their mana regen pulls.
The itemization from Wings looks like a Force Staff is coming out from Slardar, counter the Skywrath, and then some magic resistance coming out from Eyesight with a Casual Cloak. Shadow, early damage item in the drums, and working towards that 80 close. 18 is, yeah, pretty decent if they want to focus people down that are having trouble locking people down because the Pud does not have a Blink Dagger. And Slaughter has to start off the fight.
You can say, yeah, Eyesight. Well, here they go. He walks straight up the hillside, and he goes to the dismember. No lucky rot death there.
Really? You should have seen
So
that
DC
coming.
get a free kill.
3 unanswered kills by them, but Misery looks to be a little bit vulnerable in the mid lane. Instantly reinforced by Wings.
That's a nice rune for Shadow to have if you can force a fight. While it's still up, that arcane rune. Lowering the cooldown, or maybe no, they're actually going to give it over to Blink.
They have that observer ward. DC can know exactly what's going on.
Well, that's why they've already moved to the dire side of the river.
They need to set up wards over here.
Dire's top
This
tower
T2
is
tower's
under
going to go
attack.
down unless Wings come over there, but no one's in sight.
They still have a relocate, but Io is probably the closest of any of these heroes. Like, he can drag Shadow off. But now, Spear now on Fade. TPs begin. Global Silence once again making it difficult for DC to get the instant kill. Chains away, Wings, they buy back on Faith. They need a good crush out from him. Look at some cooldown. He'll find something over in the tree line, so he'll take a fall too. I will grab that with a Nile Tower. So a costly fight for Wings.
And if they lose the tower, they have to buy it back on the Slardar, and it's going to be really slow on his progression for that Force Staff.
Faith, Blink, Crush. His resolution, though, he will deploy in a second. But he'll time Dilate and then run away. It's like Faith trying to force an issue, or at least make it so DC doesn't feel comfortable to move across the map.
They had a lot of trouble approaching down the week, and it's going to be even more troublesome as he picks up his Yule Scepter. He managed to get his Mystic Flare off very early on into the fight. And he doesn't have any armor. He should be taken down a little bit more easily. But they don't really have too much physical damage to complement the Amplify.
What is any kind of armor item that the Skywrath mage will want to pick up?
We see Veil pretty commonly on Skywrath, probably the best of the worlds, but Eul's is likely much, much better to help him out against Storm Spirit in an instant cast so he can get out of the punch.
Oh, the smoke. Wingtap not caught up. ISI's will break it. Do they want to go on him? Roshan's not dead yet. They put the Timbersaw on the front lines. Digital Chaos trying to find that quick opening. Shadows nearby. There is no global silence in trouble. Blink is down. He'll commit suicide with that blood turn. Going back in 10 seconds, but 10 seconds may be too long. Shadow will go down. Leaves his attempt to relocate will fail. He didn't get him out in time.
They can hook out the Wisp, though. They can hook out the Wisp. That's the only play that I think they have to perhaps save him.
Eyesight standing too far away. Now he's going to come down close enough to it. Innocence, the sun's there. Eyesight holds the hook. Instead, they may try and contest Roshan's Storm Spirit. Very easy to jump in, but the Observer Wards up for both Gaia and Radiant on the cliff side of Roshan. Here comes your first hook. They try to do what? They got the President. Resolution! He hit the money right here! Chain forward! Wings! Where's your extra damage? Resolution will keep chasing down after him. The Eul's erupting his face out of it. And move. Still on eyesight. They're going to go face first. He'll drop down. And they get them all. Wings. They had 5 feet. Time to fight for Telegrade.
What a godsend Warlock here from Resolution. We thought they had that advantage with the high ground Observer Ward, but DC is sneaking Observer Ward from inside the pit. Wings think they're safe over there. They think they're under the cover of fog, but I also really like the positioning of the melee heroes from DC. Resolution was standing to like the north side of the room, and he's throughout the boat. You can just run around with Chrono Spear and instead, so that Fix's Void do what he does best.
Well, they give the Immortal over to Weeha. As they can look to the tier 2 tower. A lot going their way. Global Silence is back up for Wings, so they do have that strength in the team fight. 50 seconds for Resolution before Chrono is up. And remember, still DC want to fight around the timings of these big ultimates. And Wings, they want to make sure if that Chrono is down, they have Global Silence up there looking for kills too. Something which we haven't seen from Ice. This Pudge has been more like a get out jail free card. If you can stay in the right position.
They've been fighting a lot. They haven't really been in a vulnerable position for Wings to kick them with the reload.
Eyesight, he found move, reload, counts on the way. They got extra health, and Move's gonna pop. Could not deny himself. He's actually in the neighborhood. Might try and find a revenge kill. It was a relocate in, so he knows there's only be one hero left. And it looks like Eyesight, the mentally have a single point up in Flash Chief. Will tie to the magical damage of Weed. While on bottom lane, Global Silence helps kill the Void, so tit for tat between DC and Wings.
DC have to be careful not to give up too many kills. They actually gave the agency Immortal to the Skywrath instead. Maybe thinking that Face's Void not terribly useful after his Chrono Spear is done, we being the biggest damage dealer on their side.
They might still be really concerned that we could just pop way too easily. Don't have him there, so hey, give him a second line.
I think you're more worried about the Face's Void dying first in the fight. Timbersaw has enough Bloodstone charges to be almost instantly recalled into the fight. Face's Void, if you don't have Chrono Spear, you're actually pretty likely to lose the fight.
No trickle, he died and build on the Faceless Void. He went for Manta style as opposed to finishing up with the Fuser Blade.
That's right, most of them get out of Global Silence one or the other. It's also really good to counter the Pudge Hook. As soon as you get Pudge Hook, you Manta style, and the cast time of the Time Walk is not instantaneous. So it's an easy way to get out without having to rely on your team to back you up.
Brutus also brings him down into his own, going for that Eul set we're talking about.
And Storm also picks up the Eul Scepter, more likely than not to counter the Skywrath, Silence, and Ultimate.
Give him some way to jump in and out. Some time to regenerate, some time to think about the fight. But now DC, they're the ones holding advantage. They're coming in towards the mid lane. Towards the tier 2 tower. Chrono is up, basically everything apart from Global Silence is up. That's 42 seconds still on cooldown for Wings. Basically has some momentum on the bottom lane. Might make DC think twice about going to the tier 3s.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
And that's exactly what happens. They're going to back out. New items from DC, we going for a very early game style build. Atos, Duels, and now a Blink Dagger on the Skywrath.
You can get on the back line and kill that Storm Spirit, or sorry, kill the Silencer. He doesn't have a way out of the Silence right now. He is the easiest target to kill. If he gets the Ancient Steel on him before he can pop his global, I think Wings lose that fight tragically.
Well, you need Silence to have some kind of way out.
Or just good positioning too. We initially thought it was going to be a support silencer, but core silencer, very vulnerable without BKB. Sometimes we see Shadowblade come out from him, but might be a force staff at the moment.
Everyone's getting Yule Scepters. Face just finished is his.
DC.
Are they going to find anything with this, with a 4-man maneuver? And they're smoking at the same time as Global Silence is on cooldown.
And looks like they are going to show the Timber Saw in the mid lane, but they can easily recall him to the fight. Dire's use scan, they know exactly where they are.
So smart from Wings. They see it coming, but how do they react?
They need an observer ward.
They actually can't TP out Blink. Blink is walking so far over that he can just go, and there she goes, into the free line, the heal is up, Yule Scepter will dispel it, Global Silence and Resolution, drops the Chronosphere, they wait for him to hit the ground and then burn him in the line.
They knew that smoke was coming, but he didn't jump that far. I'm surprised he actually went to the right side instead of left where the rest of his team was.
It was just the TP being on cooldown. Maybe he felt like he had to jump all the way to the tier 3 tower, but he had to close the distance to do that.
Perhaps, but if you just go to the left side, you have the observer ward there. You can hide, pop the smoke.
And it's a Blink in, Yule Scepter the crow! He's the ball! Making that resolution! He'll find one down! The agency model will trigger the Weehaw back up again! And they're gonna burn down the Slaughter! He has stolen into the base. Ice can't keep the fight going for Wings. Unable to latch that hook, but it's still Shadow finding a double kill, repelling DC.
They wanted to go in that small window where the Storm Spirit was still dead. But haste breeds mistakes.
And it does. The tier 3 town takes minimal damage. With every one of these kills as well, just a little bit more of that intelligence of DC gets stolen by Wings, up to 16 now on Shadow. Slowly buffing him up.
I'm not sure if Wings can take large-scale engagements at this point. They still need more items up.
They're pinging out for top. I think Ice wants to go for a hook. They have a relocate available from Innocence.
Trying to make use of the last couple of minutes of this observer ward, but DC are grouped up far too much. And things are going to get a lot easier once next daytime hits.
Oh, the observer ward, they see Blink. He's walking straight into misery. The sun is the Mystic Flare. Yule Scepter up. Is there a relocated stage? No! Innocence! It's like he grabbed onto it, but not strong enough to pull him through the void. And now he's coming back in 3, 2, 1. And goodbye, Innocence! He'll spend his money before death, both mech recipe as well as monster recipe.
The Sorcerer has died 7 times this game. We is just crushing him at every turn.
May actually be on 1 Bloodstone charge soon. He's down to 3 Bloodstone charges on this Storm Spirit. Oof. And now he's building an item which you normally get when you have momentum. He's going back into the Orchid after Bloodstone and inside, and Mystic Flare doing some work. He'll survive. The Glimmer Cake keeps him invis, and Face looking for the crush. He misses now. Resolution. They already found one. We have import inside the Chronosphere. Trying to kill the Slaughter. Shadow will move over. Can they find the kill? Yule's up from Slaughter. They'll go again up and towards the air. Shadow still wants his kill over on Weehaw. Faith will drop in the meantime with the Rod of Atos. The curve. It should be enough with the Yule Scepter. Dispel. Shadow's running out of mana. The Blink out. Weehaw uses that point. Restless for the time. A double kill for Moon. And Wings tied it to the end of the earth in a stiff breeze.
Another phenomenal play coming out from Wings. Such an unlucky miss uphill as Silencer was going for the finishing blow with the amp damage still on Sky, but he is styling up them.
And they look for more. Blink having the ball running himself away from Moo. DC is starting to roll with the punches. It's going to be even more difficult to try and repel them as these early game items with this really strong mid-game drop. Hitting his mark from DC. We've got Diffusal plus Manta up. They've got everything to deal with Global Silence. Even on the Lotus Orb up for the Timber.
Yeah, their items are coming out way too quickly. They really need maybe an Aegis on the Storm Spirit to get back in this game, but DC is showing no signs of halting. Skywrath almost has as many kills as Wings' entire team.
Over here now.
That is definitely an issue. You had Wing in your fantasy team, you're going to be smiling all the way through.
He's still suffering a little bit in terms of net worth over the Storm Spirit, but Storm Spirit could have been a way bigger threat had we not been playing this well.
But it's something too which Wings was probably expecting. Like we've seen it, like the panel was guessing. Black said maybe it wasn't the greatest time to pick up an Ogre, but DC have done it time and time again. They get that early balance their way. When that Ogre rotates into mid, plus having an early game of help, like the Skyrack made more.
Yeah, might be time to bring back the 2-1-2 mid lane.
Two times took the anything. He didn't even have a chance to trigger it off as Moo finds the kill.
No chance.
Yeah, no chance, definitely chance though. It's not a Moo you're hearing if you're listening back at home. That is all for the Moo. As now the full. Nice save. Unable to hit that reactive armor.
Thank you.
Misery still needs to be recalled if they want to make this a
Dire's top
5-man
tower is
push.
under attack.
Where's your fight?
Oh yes, this is going to be insanely difficult for Wings to hold.
Especially during the daytime. Thanks for a heal. Blink is on stop in the global. Holds him in. The global silence. They'll actually pull Blink away with the hook, but now DC, no global silence to fight up again. They know they've got the advantage, they've got Chrono, they've got everything their heart desires. All they want is the rack. DC, everyone was picking Wings to try and win this grand final. The favorites to do it for DC. They will be the first to claim the full set of racks on top. Fortification from Wings is slowing this fight down. Eyesight looking for a good angle. Blink jumps in. They don't have the opening just yet to smoke the hog. It actually drives the Slaughter out of his front. They still know they got more than one. He can't Blink all that down. Outside the corner. He can't pull it out in time. They'll have to hold in. They have to back up. Up the team more power. DC. They're now changing on. From number objective by gaming with DC. DC takes number one of the TI6 Grand Final against Wings. The boys that went all the way through the winner's bracket.
Insane on that Skyrack main. And again, the early game over for Misery. You can still feel the effects of his first 5 minutes.